So we are at week 11 of EDAV 427 and all my other classes, and to say that I'm ready to be done is an understatement. This week there was a lot of material in this class, which is good because I am paying to learn, so I'm glad that I'm learning something. But it was a lot of videos and a lot of articles, and I really liked the articles because they were easier to read than the chapter, which is great, and they actually were kind of cool. So the first one was the ISTE technology standards. Standard 1 was empowered learners, and I picked two quotes out of there that I kind of wanted to touch on. And the first one was, teens will not become critical contributors to this internet ecosystem simply because they were born in an age where these technologies were pervasive. So I'm just going to be completely honest, didn't know what the word pervasive meant, so I went and looked it up on the internet. It means like whenever you're, well, here we have the definition right here, especially an unwelcome influence or physical effect spreading widely throughout an area or a group of people. So I mean, I get that we're not going to be, I guess, not super just well with the internet because we were kind of thrown into it and it's in literally every aspect of our life. But then the second quote, it's the same person too, says whether in school or in informal settings, youth had opportunities to develop the skills and knowledge to engage with temporary technology effectively and meaningfully. So I don't know if like what they're talking about is if like we go to school and we like learn how to use it, we'll be, you know, more like critical contributors to this internet ecosystem, or if they're just talking about how once we get older we'll be more useful to the internet. But I don't really know how you can be useful to the internet, to be completely honest. It's just a lot over my head, I guess. So Ruben Lowry, probably butchering the name honestly, compares the digital learning state of American education to that of sex ed, saying we're just doing a smattering of information about their reproductive organs and a set of stern warnings about putting them to use. Which sounds weird, but it actually makes a whole lot of sense. Because, you know, in sexual education, you're not really told much except for just like, it's my dryer if you heard that, but you just like how to, you know, what it is, just don't do it. I feel like that's a lot of how we do with like social media, just like, here it is, but like, maybe don't post certain stuff. And then the idea behind this dude's form of living online is part of experimenting, exploring who you are, and getting the opportunity to interact with people you normally wouldn't interact with, which I think is pretty cool. So, and then another thing we looked at was the top 10 free content creation websites, and the two that I liked were Pinterest because I've actually used it before, and it was talking about how you can pin something to create a board with a specific theme, and these boards can be great tools for creation projects, and I never thought about that before, but that's actually super cool. And then Dippity, and it allows you to make a timeline with videos, text, images to each entry, and you can use it on iPads, and it can be public or private, which I thought was really beneficial because you'll be in a classroom and everybody needs pretty much to be public. And then it said teaching with the content creation was the last thing, and it was defined as an act of discovering, gathering, and presenting digital content that relates to a specific subject, content creation. It's less about creating new resources, more about amassing information and then maintaining it in a logical fashion, which I thought was really cool because I had never heard of content creation before, but it actually is really prominent in almost all aspects of education. So I thought that was pretty cool that we got to learn about that because I would have never ever picked up on that on my own. And then it says when selecting content to like curate, a teacher can look for areas that students are struggling in and then focus on those specific areas, which I think is really important. And it was cool. It was a cool week. Really liked the articles, and I'm looking forward to next week.